Hi Floss Tube, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Monday. It is according to my calendar, the 26th of April, and I am back for whatever number Floss Tube this happens to be. I don't know because I didn't look. I have been missing for quite a while. Various reasons. I can explain if you're interested. But I thought if I was going to make a video, when I'm gone for a while, I have a hard time starting back up with videos for some reason. Because it feels awkward and I don't know. I just have a hard time doing it. So today I decided, okay, we're just going to sit down, we're going to do it. We're not going to do any prep work for it because if I do that, I'll never get it done. So here I am. I'm at home. It's Monday. Got my errands done earlier today, so I'm just going to hop right into what little I have to show you, and then we can just chat for a while, I guess, so that those of you who aren't interested can just go on about your business. So there's not been a whole lot of stitching done, which I will explain later. So this is just what has been done. I did a lot of negative stitching, reverse stitching, ripping, however you want to refer to it. A lot of that has happened. So not a ton of progress was done in like the first 2 weeks that I was missing. So this is more or less what's been done in the last 2 weeks. So the first thing is my 25/7 challenge, my first piece from the 25/7 challenge. And let me explain that for those of you who don't know what it is. I start a lot of things. I start them and I tend to never finish them, but I want to. So I came up with this idea of picking one whip or work in progress that I would do 25 stitches a day every single day until it's completed. And in the hopes that while it would take a while, at least I would be getting something done. So I put the challenge out there for anyone else who maybe wanted to try doing it. And we've got a private group on Facebook for people to post their progress and to chit chat. And I think there's like 80 of us in the group now. I just figured out Facebook changed some stuff. And whereas you used to be able to invite people that weren't friends on Facebook, and I never accept friend requests on Facebook. I just don't. I never post anything other than for the shop. But they make you have a personal page in order to have a business page. So I never accept friend requests from anybody. No, it's nothing personal. I just don't. But you used to be able to invite non-friends to your group, and now they've got it so it's just friends. So I had to switch the settings a little bit, and I finally figured out what I needed to do so I could invite. So now we've got, anyway, all that rigmarole to say we've got, I think, somewhere around 81 or 2 people in the group now. So anyway, my first, and I don't have the picture because, again, I just grabbed things and I would have had to go digging for the picture. But it's the First Winds of Autumn from Blackbird Designs. A very kind lady whose name I do not remember loaned me her chart because originally that design came out, I think it was it was either a retreat piece or a club piece or something like that. And she finished hers and I had admired it, and she actually sent me her chart, and I want to say thank you once again. It's supposed to be made into a strawberry, which I have chosen not to do, so mine has a few little things different on it than what anyone else's has. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, but my first Winds of Autumn, which was my first 25/7 challenge piece, is finished. And it looks like this. Bring it in closer. So the challenge started January 1st, and I finished this maybe a week or so ago. So not too bad. I didn't have a ton of it done when I started. So I'm pleased with the progress that I made. I'm pleased that it's finished, and I have chosen a second 25/7 challenge piece. I know a lot of people are doing much more and have finished multiple projects already. So, but I'm sticking more to the 25 stitches a day. Sometimes I'll do more, like last night I did more. But usually I somewhere 25 to 30 stitches a day. So I'm not going to get a whole lot done anytime soon, but it's progress. It's being made daily, mostly. There was a 2-week period where there was nothing done. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how the challenge is going, and I'm thrilled to death that it's working for other people. So, second thing I'll show you then is my, where did it go, George? Okay, so I think it's a well-established fact that I suck at stitch-alongs. And I started a stitch-along for Hawk Run Hollow, the village of Hawk Run Hollow, a couple of years ago. And I went along pretty well. I mean, the goal then was to do a block a month. But with the way I stitch, it was taking me a full month to do a block, and you know, I didn't want to just stitch on that piece for a full year, because there's 12 blocks. And so, you know, I started out good, and then I just kind of petered out, so to speak, and ended up stopping quite some time ago on the 6th block. So I decided for my second challenge piece, I would finish the block. No, it's not finishing the entire whip, but it's going to finish a block, which in my opinion is a finish. It's more than would have gotten done otherwise. And I may like do, finish this block and then maybe do something else and then go back and do another block. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how I feel. The next block isn't going to have a whole ton of stitching. Half of it is words, so, you know, we'll see. But anyway, so it's Village of Hawk Run Hollow for those of you who maybe are not familiar. I am on the 6th block, and 3 years ago, or whenever we started this challenge, I had made the executive decision that I did not want the graveyard next to the schoolhouse. It just didn't, I don't know. Kids are scared of graveyards, some of them, so I just did not want the schoolhouse next to the graveyard. So my schoolhouse is up here, and the church is going to come down next to the graveyard. So it'll look just slightly different than what you are maybe used to seeing from other people. And I didn't take this one off the Q-snap, so give me a second here to get this off. It's a beautiful day here. It's a little breezy, but it's supposed to be like 80 some degrees today, and then I think it gets colder again. We're having a terrible time getting and keeping spring. Like, we get a day and then it goes back to winter, and I'm really kind of tired of it. And I wanted to sit outside on my deck today, but I have developed an allergy to the sun. So until we get a cover on the deck, I can't sit out there. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Otherwise, we'd be filming this outside on my deck. All right, so there's the top half of mine. And there's my block that I'm currently working on. So like yesterday, my horse got a mane, or maybe it was the day before he got a mane, and I did the horseshoes. And then I did some of the stripes last night. So it's coming along. It is coming along. And I enjoy stitching on it when I stitch on it. It's just that it's not all I want to stitch on. And to do a block a month at the rate that I stitch, which is slower than molasses, it would take a while. So I'm happy with the goal of finishing a block. And that's 25/7 for you. So if anyone is interested in joining the 25/7, let's see, how's the best way to... I set up an email strictly for that challenge. I'll put it down in the comment section. You can send me an email to that email address, and I will send you the link to request to join. So I'm not even sure that you need that at this point. I don't know. Technology and I are not friends, so I don't know. Okay, so somewhat related to 25/7 is this next piece I'm working on, and I worked on it for the last couple of days, the last 2 days, strictly because I was looking at people's albums in our 25/7 group, and I was looking at the progress. Oh gosh, and I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. But I can't remember my own name most of the time anymore. I was looking through her progress. She's stitching this piece, and it was so fun to see the daily, because she keeps all of hers. I tend to delete when the week is over and I post the 7 days of pictures. Then the next week I delete the previous week. So there's only ever like 7 or 8 pictures on there. I think I keep the ending picture from the week before. So I have the very beginning picture and then the ending picture from the week before, and then I post the week's pictures, and then the next week I delete everything but the ending picture. So there's still progress being shown, but she had kept all of hers, and I was watching the progress, and I was like, oh gosh, that's just so pretty. I need to get back to doing mine. So the piece I'm referring to is from Teresa Kogut, and it's The Land That I Love, which looks like this. And I'm doing mine on a piece of 40 count fabric called anthracite that I then tea dyed. So it's not as blue as it was, and it's got some brown aging to it. And I'll try and hold up the... So that's my progress. Yeah, that's not working, so we'll just do it this way. There. That's where I'm at, and this motif here, you know, sometimes you need another hand. Today is one of those days. This motif here is what I've worked on the last 2 days. Not a ton of progress, but again, it's progress, and it's all because I was watching hers come to life, and it just made me want to work on it again. So I don't know how long I'll work on it or how often I'll work on it, but I put 2 days into it, so I feel good about that. And then the last thing that I'm working on is, and probably, I don't know, I've never seen anyone else working on this piece. I'm sure there are people out there who have. I just haven't seen it. You know, I did not find a lot in the expo that really spoke to me. And so I kind of went looking around on a couple places and looking for something to spark an interest, so to speak. And I happened upon a company called Antique Needlework Designs. And as most of you have seen, and I'm going to move the screen just a little bit because it's up above my head. You can see my parrot up there. You can't see it very well, but you can see my parrot up there. One of my all-time favorite pieces. And I saw this piece and I thought, well, that would be an excellent companion to my parrot. So I ordered it and a couple of others for the shop. I didn't order this particular one for the shop, but I ordered a couple others for the shop in case there was any interest. I have since ordered this chart in for the shop also, along with a couple of others. I happened to show this to Carla, who makes the project bags for my store, and she sent the picture to her cousin, who then said she had to have it, and then Carla added a couple others from the website. So I know at least I'm not the only one that likes this. But anyway, the chart is called Peacock and Scrolling Roses, and it looks like this. And I tell you, the colors on this are so beautiful. There is a lot of them, though. There's a lot of colors. They're all DMC, though, so that's the nice thing. But I am so enjoying watching this bird come to life and seeing how the colors play with each other. And it's just, so far, it has been a joy. And I probably have put more work into it than anything else that I have worked on recently. So I'm stitching it on 40 count Dolce de Leche. I think that's fiber on a whim, but I can't guarantee it. Just going to decline that. I'll call her back. It was Abby. So here is my progress. Isn't that pretty? I just love the colors. I love how they're playing together. In my last bird picture, the one I showed you just a few minutes ago, I saved the head for last because it was really bothering my friend Donna that the bird didn't have a head and I wanted to mess with her head. So this one, I put the head in like almost immediately. I started with the tail, and then I worked my way up and got his head done and then came back down, and I'm filling in his body now. But I think it's stunning. And I love it. So that is everything that I have worked on, that I can remember that I have worked on in the last little while. I don't even know how long it's been since my last video. I am starting to get messages from people, though, so I thought I'd really better do it. So the only other thing I have to show you is the one thing I ordered for myself from Expo was a pair of scissors from Sajou. They come in this pretty little toile box. And these are the black lace scissors. Let me see, can I put a white so you can see them better? There. And we all know I love scissors, so I tried to get these like a year ago, but they were limited edition and they did not have them. So I managed to snag 2 this year from the Expo. So I kept one for myself, and there's one for sale on the website. But they're really pretty, and I am greatly enjoying being the owner of them. And that concludes the stitching part of the program. So for those of you who are interested, you can stick around and I'll explain some parts of why I've been gone, and what's happening with everyone. And the rest of you, thank you for joining me. I hope you'll come back and take care. So, what happened? Well, I tell you, I got my first COVID shot, and it did make me ill for about 4 days. So I kind of figured when I got my second COVID shot, I was not going to feel good, and that is true. I got my second COVID shot. I'm so grateful. I am completely vaccinated. I feel so much better. It's a relief off my mind. I'm still hyper concerned about the whole thing, but I feel a little better. I'm a little more relaxed. But anyway, I happened to get my second shot and a massive sinus infection on the same day. And of course, they were like, well, we're not going to give you any antibiotic because it could be a reaction to the shot. And I'm like, trust me, yellow pus coming out my eyeballs is not a reaction to the shot. It's a sinus infection. My teeth hurt. My face felt like it wanted to explode. I had yellow goo coming out my eyes, and out my nose, and down my throat. My ears hurt, and the whole 9 yards that I get when I lost my voice. It was gone for almost 2 weeks. So I had to wait like a full week after my shot before they would give me an antibiotic. And then because I can't take most antibiotics, what they can give me doesn't work real well on a sinus infection. So it took forever to kick in and start working. And I just felt like crap for about 2 weeks. And anything I touched, I then had to rip out. So there was negative progress made during that time. I did work on one other thing because I discovered that I had an error in something I had. Well, I'll show it next time. Anyway, negative progress was made on everything. Anything I put in, I then had to take out the next day. So I finally just gave up. I haven't been watching Floss Tube much at all. Mostly I just sat in my chair and watched TV those 2 weeks, and then once I started getting to feeling better, I was behind in every other aspect of my life. So it has taken me a while to get caught up, and back to a place where I even felt like talking to people. So I apologize for being gone. I'm not going to say it'll never happen again, because it probably will, but hopefully not very often. The chart of the day videos, I'm having trouble finding the time in the day to get those done. I used to do them before the shop opened, first thing in the morning. Because there wasn't much going on. But things have changed over the year, and a lot of my business is now online orders. And as a shop owner, I want to get those mailed out to you, the customer, as quickly as possible. So my routine has now changed from doing a chart of the day video to coming in, and I get to the shop at about 8:30 every morning. I come in, and the first thing we do is we get our orders ready to go. And hopefully we get them ready before the mailman shows up. We've had a change in mail, and I say mailman, we now have mail lady. I should probably say mail person. It just doesn't roll off the tongue as well. For 60 years it's been a mailman. So excuse me, I am trying, but so we have a new mail person, and her routine is a little bit different from the gentleman who was before her. So we're still trying to get our stuff together and get that figured out as to how early we have to get there to get things out. So the fact that we have business that we have to get out, that's a great thing. I appreciate your orders and your support, and please continue, because while we are busy doing that, it is still not easy to get the rent paid. We're hanging in there, and which leads me to my next thing. Now that I am fully vaccinated and Lori is fully vaccinated, I was pondering opening up for regular business, because at this point I am still open by appointment only. Let me stress that. Appointment only. So if you're traveling to Omaha for some reason and you want to come see the shop, or you want to come, meet me, or whatever reason you want to come, you need an appointment. It's on the website under events, I think. It's on Facebook, both in the newsletter and its own separate post. But there's no way to indicate on either of those that you're open by appointment only, other than just in a post on Facebook or in the newsletter and in a section on my website. So my apologies to anyone who has shown up and I've either not been there or I don't have availability when you show up. You do still need to call and make an appointment. Now, that being said, my original plan was to open up for regular business sometime in May, and then Easter happened and spring break happened, and so the numbers are all going up again, and I'm sorry, but I am still nervous about it. We still have all these medical issues in my family, and Ben and Kate are not old enough to get a shot, and I would really like to go over and see them once in a while. So I just don't know. I'm hoping to still open sometime in May if the numbers start to go back down. I'm just going to put it out there. But for the time being, and I would call. I would actually call any new business you're going to, because I don't think I'm the only one that's still by appointment only. I could be wrong there. Maybe I'm the only paranoid person out there. But please call before you go someplace new, so you're not disappointed. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Okay, as most of you know, we did end up canceling our spring retreat, which should have been happening this next weekend. There's still restrictions in place at the location where we hold it, that private rooms were going to be required and masks were going to be required, and there's not enough rooms for everybody if everyone has to have a private room. So we opted to wait until October, when hopefully things will be better. And come hell or high water, we're going to have retreat in October. It might end up being the fact that not everyone gets to come, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be an issue by then, I hope, as people keep getting their shots. And please, people, keep getting your shots. Hopefully it'll be okay. So I am moving forward as though we will be having retreat for sure, come hell or high water. That being said, I have had some cancellations, so I will be opening up registration probably in May, because some of the items that go with this I need to order, and it takes a while to get them. So I need to get the registration back on track and see how many we're going to have. So watch for that. I always post my newsletter on the Facebook page. So if you're not on, subscribe to the newsletter and you don't get it in your mailbox, then you can check it out on the Facebook page, and it will announce it and have the forms needed for that to get registered. So let's see, that takes care of that little bit of business. What else do I know? Not a whole lot. When you don't go anywhere and you don't see, I haven't been antiquing. I was planning to maybe go yesterday, but Dan's mother decided she wanted to come down and visit and bring the Christmas presents that were not brought at Christmas time due to Mac's passing. So she came down, she and Dan's sister came down and brought the gifts for the grandkids and visited for a while. So we didn't get to go. The status of the bathroom. Dan is still working away at what he can get done. And we did have an electrician finally show up yesterday. He came, he actually sent his bid, and I think Dan went ahead and just, for all I know, he could be gouging us, but we're going to take the bid because we can't get anyone else to show up or respond. Or I had one, and same thing with the plumber. I had one guy who was going to come out. He was highly recommended by people, and he said yep, he would come out, and we landed on a Friday evening, and Friday came and I hadn't heard from him, and so I went back and looked at our conversations because it was all via text message, and he never once asked for my address. Which was a pretty good indication he wasn't showing up. So I sent him a message and said, hey, do you need the address? And no, he never responded. So we'll get the electrical stuff done first, and then we'll move on to trying to find a plumber. I do have a couple of names so that I'm gonna call, but the electrical needs to be done first. So we're gonna get that taken care of. So it's progressing, but it's progressing slowly. We did buy a bathtub. And Dan has put some sheetrock up. It's probably how I managed to get a sinus infection, was from all the dust in my room. He's been very, very good about cleaning up, but it gets in the air and then you breathe it in all night. So let's see, what else do I know? That's really about it. I mentioned briefly that I have developed an allergy to the sun. The 2 times I've been out in the sun this spring, because we've only had 2 days of nice weather. Well, today would be like the 3rd day. I have developed a very itchy rash on my hands and, well, any exposed skin other than my face, which has too much makeup on it for any sun to get through. But any exposed skin, I break out in a very, very itchy rash. And turns out, yep, it's an autoimmune thing. And so here I sit inside when it's nice out, because it's not shady in back yet. Let's see. So how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope spring has sprung where you are. Although in other parts of the world, I think it's winter. So I hope you're having a decent one. The dogs are doing fine. Adam and family is doing fine. They had a case of the stomach flu a couple weeks ago, but they're all better now. Adam's gearing up to do a marathon here in another week or 2, I think. This is the first time he's tried that. So he's up to run, I think he's up to 10 miles a day now that he runs. More power to him. I don't even want to walk 10 miles, much less run it. And let's see, Abby and Reese and Travis are doing fine. Travis is out in the fields. They're starting to plant. Abby's dropping down to part-time, starting in May. And Reese just jabbers all the time. I don't understand a word she's saying, except for oh shit. I did hear her say oh shit the other day. So, takes after her mother that way. Melanie and family is doing okay. And that is all I have, people. I really don't have anything else. I haven't, like I said, I haven't felt well, so I haven't done much. I haven't watched any YouTube videos, any Floss Tube videos. So, I apologize. And I am going to probably stick a fork in this and let it be done. I apologize for it being a little bit somewhat scattered and for it being so long since my last video. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the chart of the day videos. I just don't know. We'll see. It's also hard, when you don't have everything that you need, and you can only sub so much. When you start going down the list of fibers and it's gone, that's no fun. Framing is another source of... why does everyone want to call me? Framing is another source of contention. Everything's been back ordered that I've ordered or discontinued. And the last email I got from one of my suppliers said it is now taking 200 days for them to get moldings in. 200 days, people. 200 days. That's almost a year. So at this time, I'm not taking any framing in until I can get these 10 that I had taken care of. So, all right, now I'm going to end it. People keep trying to call me, so there must be something going on. So I will let you go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the support you've shown in the last year for the shop. You take care until next time, and hopefully it won't be nearly as long. Now I got my feet wet again. I feel better.